Hello everyone, welcome to Divine Time 101. Today I'll be having my second sample video on the topic of natural beauty. The title of this video is Don't Get It Twisted, the Do's and Don'ts for Healthy Locked Hair. I originally was going to do this video on how to upkeep natural hair and natural beauty as a whole. But one thing that caught my eye that a lot of people don't understand is the history on dreadlocks, on locked hair. Before I locked my hair, I had a 6-month period in which I went into some deep analyzation on dreadlocks as a whole, a lot of research. Not just looking at photos and being more infatuated with the hairstyle, but actually going deep into why do people have these? Why do people ever choose to decide to get this hairstyle? What does this mean? Where did this come from? A lot of people don't analyze things as far as where things actually originated from. And that's very important. A quote from www.asadashakur.org with the Forum of History of Dreadlocks is this: dreadlocks are not a fashion statement. They are not a political statement against the government or system. They are not a symbol of vices and pleasures such as smoking ganga. Dreadlocks are a very serious spiritual commitment that cannot be taken lightly. This is very important because with having dreadlocks comes a dedication, a devotion in which you don't have a choice. These locks are not just pieces of wound up hair. These are antennas that keep you in the frequency of the most divine energies. This is very important. I've had a lot of spiritual awakenings, a lot of periods of darkness. And when I say periods of darkness, it doesn't mean evil. It doesn't mean bad. Darkness is where the infinity is, or everything is there and can be tapped into. It doesn't mean that light is good or light is bad. Light came out of darkness. If you want to talk about the Bible or creation, out of darkness came light. This is true. From creation, there was nothing. There was darkness. Everything is within darkness, which is very important for everyone to know. With that said, I'm going to go into the story of Samson and Delilah. For some of you who don't exactly know about this, reference Judges chapter 9, verse 16, or that's in the Hebrew Bible. But basically, Samson was a very strong fellow. And Delilah was a seductress, pretty much, who was sent to figure out where Samson got his strength. She was going to seduce him to figure out the answers. And on Wikipedia, it said that he gave her 3 lies before he gave her a truth. And his truth was the strength came from his fulfillment of a vow he made to God. And he had 7 locks. Now, my numerology number is 7. And so I don't take that lightly when it said he had 7 locks that were shaven from his head. Locks that he had since he was out the womb. What's very important is that when his locks were shaven, he in essence lost his strength. Now, some people, when they go through a depression or an extreme sadness, they shave their hair. Hair, it's not just something that just grows out of you. You know, these antennas, whether locked or not, hair is very, very powerful. Some people want to believe the Hollywood voodoo. Hair is very much involved in rituals, fur, and sacrifices of animals. Animals have to have a certain type of hair. You can't just have any animal you sacrifice. It doesn't work that way. Hair is very much so a very important factor in the process of rituals. But one thing I did want to mention is that Samson was known to be a Nazareth. A Nazareth meaning from the womb to the day of his death. This meaning he shall never touch wine or never cut his hair. If you want to look more into Nazareth, go ahead. It goes into some deep things about how they can't touch anything dealing with a grape or from a grape or a raisin. Like it goes into some deep stuff. And Nazareths weren't only men; they also were women. So Nazareth, spelled Nazirite. I did only a little research on that, but again, this is a sample video, so I can't give you everything. The next thing I wanted to talk about is stories passed on to me. That means stories that within that 6-month period of making this very powerful decision to get my hair this way, stories that I came upon. This story was passed on to me when I was at the South Dallas Cultural Center. And this was why dreadlocks are called dreadlocks. They told me that when Africans were enslaved, not were slaves, but were enslaved, kidnapped, not captured. These people, most of them had locks. And the people who kidnapped them shaved their locks. But when their locks continuously grew back, this was sought out as a dreadful experience, a dreadful happening to have to continuously keep shaving off this person's head, the hair, So therefore, dreadful, full of dreadlocks. I don't see my hair as a dreadful act. Sometimes it gets hot. Oh, I gotta put my hair up. But I love my hair. A lot of people see it as a way out of continual maintenance, and it is. It is no doubt. But to no extent does dreadlocks bring laziness. There, you will always be open to the cosmos. You will always be open to energy around you. I guarantee you, once you get this hairstyle, things start to make more sense. You start to tap into some energies you never thought you had within yourself. A couple of things I did want to mention is the best thing you can do is leave your hair alone when you have locks. When people get them, when I first got locks, my hair was like right here. Probably not even that long. My hair was this big. And every day I wanted to twist it. I wanted to be down my back all of a sudden. It's a journey. It's a journey. It's a process. My mom said when I came through the door, after I got my hair twisted for the first time, she said I was like I had cut all the child off of me. That meant a lot to me. That I'm now starting to realize how powerful of a statement that was, because in essence I did. A lot of people blame how they are on their environment. It's a factor, yes, but what makes you yourself is when you decipher who you are, not based on your environment, but on how you put in that you should be. You know what I mean? Just because you're raised in the church house doesn't mean you have to be a Christian. It doesn't mean you have to pick a religion at all. But it's what you decipher within yourself. See, there has to come a time within you that you make your choices and not your environment. You have to make that choice. You have to start thinking for yourself and not have your environment and your society think for you. Don't be a robot. With that said, I don't want to get too up. The second tip was be aware that your locks are antennas. So you can tap into the most divine frequencies known of God. And that with locks comes a duty of spiritual enlightenment and energy awareness. I've never been so aware. Another word people use is conscious. Conscious isn't about how much knowledge you have about, people of African descent. It's not about any of that thing. A lot of people get dreadlocks and do a lot of African American history background and think that now they're conscious, now they're aware. No, anybody can do that. It's deeper than that. And people who are like me and who dig deeper into the essence of things can automatically see someone who's just has the outside face, who's just wearing the locks real good, or have the ankh and now they're no, it's deeper than that. And people who know that can see it, can feel when someone is just playing the part. I can feel it. It's the energy that person gives off. And sometimes that energy is what I call vampirish. It's a sucking away energy. Energy should be reciprocity. You give and you give back. I can tell when someone is sucking me dry. You should be aware of that. You should be aware of people who do that to you. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you continuously do good for someone and that person, not that they don't appreciate you, but that person can never reciprocate that energy towards you back, that person's a vampire. And you have to understand that and go by doing that in the way that keeps you safe. You have to realize that everyone isn't for your best interest. Everyone's not a good person. But what you can do is enlighten them of the energy that they have and try to help them. Because everyone has a blind spot. There's something called the Johari window. There's things that you see that everyone else sees. There's things that you see that no one else sees. There's things that you don't see that everyone around you sees. And there's things that no one can see and neither can you. The stuff gets deep, y'all. It gets very deep. There's for a while, and I still have a little bit of it, there's an essence within me, within my ego, where I can get a little cocky. I can get a little overconfident, almost arrogance. And it's very subtle because of the self-esteem I have within myself. And I didn't realize this. This is a blind spot to this is something that I couldn't see that people could see around me. Now, when people come up to you and they say these things to you, this is not, they're picking on you to find something wrong with you. No, this is something you need to be aware of. When the people, my loved ones around me, enlightened me on this, I went within myself and I saw it. And at that moment, it was my duty, now that I know to go into the process of fixing that. This is what we all must do. Take a day out where you go and do a survey of the people you consider close to you and ask them about your blind spots. Ask them about things they see. Ask them, do you think I have a big ego? Do you think that sometimes I can be arrogant? Do you think that, and ask them these questions. Don't feel like, oh, I'm too good. I've done nothing wrong. No, no, no. We all have. But what's important is that you are aware of these things. Don't be blind just because you don't want to know. There is nothing worse of not knowing and not wanting to know, because you know that you don't know. You know that something's up. Be aware of it and fix it. With that said, I'm going to close out this sample video. I love all you guys, and what I think is important is that with these one-on-one conversations or personal videos that I have with you all, that you learn and you pass on. I'm only 18 years old on this earth. I think I've been around, my energy's been around for a very long time. And I really feel that if we dig deep within ourselves, we can look past capital, currency, money, because this business is not about the money. This business is about knowledge and energy shared, so you too can take in that knowledge and that energy and share it with someone else. That's the meaning for Divine Time 101. With that said, Trinity, and thank you.